I noticed that over 450 Christian missions operating in America, and not one has targeted preborn child. Now that astounded me because, number one, the church had always affirmed the humanity of the preborn child, and number two, the church always has affirmed that abortion is murder. And yet not one Christian mission committed to ministering to these preborn children on a full-time basis. So we decided that we needed to call our group Missionaries to the Preborn, because that was our targeted people group, was the preborn children. We viewed them as the most oppressed in our nation. They're the most defenseless. They can't speak for themselves, and so we need to speak up for them. There's chairs over here if you want to sit on this side. Oh, okay. So anyways, we gathered together with 17 people. We went out to Bread and Roses Abortuary in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it was the highest volume killing center in the state. They did more abortions there than any other abortion clinic in the state of Wisconsin. But we felt that was where God wanted us to go. They did abortions 3 days a week, and we went with the intent that we would blockade the door of the abortion clinic. Every day they killed babies. So either they were closed down or we were dead. And thanks be to God, a year later we were all still alive, and the abortion clinic was closed down. When we started the mission, there were 8 abortion clinics in the city of Milwaukee. Thanks be to God, there's only 3 left now. There's 17 less abortionists in our city. Many have either quit, passed away, or had a stroke, things like that. We've had literally hundreds and hundreds of babies that we know of that have been scared to death. We have a whole network set up to help the moms. I'd say about 25% of those who decide to keep their babies do need financial help. And we do what we do based on the fact that we're Christians. Jesus taught us to love our neighbor as ourselves. We were in a child's position about to be killed. We hope someone would intervene for us, so we intervened for the child. And same with the women. If we were in need, we hope someone would help us, so we help the women. About 25% of them that do decide to keep their babies do need help. We do everything from getting them set up with a place to live, from getting them set up with a pro-life doctor who will do all the prenatal and postnatal for free, getting them furniture and clothes, even babysitting the child after the child's born so that they can continue on in college. So that's what we do as a group. We also we spent a lot of time in jail in our early years, back in from 90 to 94. I did about 14 months in jail during that time, and some of our missionaries did far more than that, because getting arrested for blockading doors, go to trial, and being sent to jail. In jail was always an interesting time. The inmates, you always became the dorm chaplain. The inmates respected you because they saw that you were there for your convictions. And it was a great time of ministry in the jail. One of the downside about it was being separated from your family. In 1994, the government upheld the RICO laws against pro-lifers. When the RICO laws were put in place, racketeering laws, it was made clear in Congress that they were never supposed to be used for anything other than racketeers because there was concern that it would be used against Vietnam protesters at that time. It was made clear it would never be used against protesters. 25 years later, all those guys who brought the law to being are gone or dead. Most of them were. Take that. And here they are now using racketeering laws against protesters this time in abortion protesters. So that ended a lot of street activities because you could now be seen in the ground and collect people out and seen in the ground with these laws. Also, during that same year, 1994, they passed the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, which made it a federal crime to blockade the door of an abortion clinic. The first time was a misdemeanor, 6 months in jail. The second time after that, we were looking at anywhere up to 5 years in prison. One of our missionaries was sent to 5 years in the federal penitentiary. He did almost 3 years there. He's still on paper today under the federal government. That curtailed activities a lot outside the abortion clinics as far as blockading the doors went. And so we began to seek God. What could we do? A lot of people were just saying, well, nothing we can do, I'll just go home. Forget about it. Surprise, it take place. But one of the things we decided to do, and we believe God gave us, was to show the large photographs of the murdered preborn babies, to show people what a child killed by abortion looks like. Being Christians, we base this on the Word of God. Ephesians 5:11 says that we're to expose the evil works of darkness. And so we're showing the American people what these babies look like when they're killed by abortion. The press will not show victims of this atrocity in our country. They refuse to themselves right out on the streets. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 2, we also base what we do on for prophet Ezekiel, where God told the prophet Ezekiel, show the bloody city their abominations. And so that's what we're doing, because America's hands are covered with blood. They're allowing these to cover with blood. It needs to stop. At the end of World War II, our American GIs took the men, women, and children of Germany into those death camps and marched them past the bodies of those who died there. And the reason they did that was because they were saying, look, you're partly responsible, you're partly culpable for this Holocaust that went on. And so you're going to see what your apathy and indifference is resulting. Those people were under threat of bodily harm if they intervened. We're not even under threat of bodily harm if we intervene. The oppressed Preborn. So we show people the pictures. People who don't like us showing the pictures, we always end up in interesting conversations when we're out in the streets. The campus town tours are something we just started this year. We went to Iowa at the beginning of April, and you were the first Wisconsin campus we came to. It was a very good day. Needless to say. We plan on continuing on with the campus town tours, because we really like them. We get a lot of interaction with a lot of students, and no small stirs take place. We also do other tours, like this summer we're going out and we're doing the states of South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and Nebraska. We spend 2 weeks on the road, lining up at the busiest intersections in town, sending teams of youth out to pass out literature door to door. So that's us, what we do. Most of our time is spent outside the Bushard as missionaries. We spend most of the time outside the Bushard, so we do these tours also to get the word out more fully. The reason we come to the campuses is because we view you guys as being the next doctors, lawyers, politicians, next people in influence. And our hope is that when you see the photographs of murdered people, you'll never forget it. And that when you're in those positions of influence, that you'll take action on behalf of the people and children to see the atrocity in our country. That's pretty much it in a real nutshell. And I'll let Judy share.
I got involved in the abortion debate issue in 1973. I was 18 years old, brought up in a good home, taught moral values, but in that time it was still like 6 years, 7 years, a lot of drugs, alcohol use. Met my boyfriend, now my husband, still my husband, 20 years, just American myself. I ran away from home. We didn't with him in February. By the end of that month, I found myself pregnant. Back then, they had these things called underground clinics that you could go to, whether it's discuss, your drug problem or whatever, and they also did some hospital things. I didn't, when I was a naive person, I didn't even know about birth control or anything, so I went there and found out that I was pregnant. Counselors there told me to go speak with a woman across from the UWM campus down in Milwaukee. And I was very obedient to authority in that time. I did what she said and went and talked with her, and my boyfriend did not want to have the child. I had run away from home. We were doing a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, a lot of excuses that I didn't want the child. And this woman talked to us. She told me that it was just nothing at that time. It was just a blob of tissue. That she could recommend someone that I go to and speak with, and that he would give me for abortion, which would probably be the first time. This doctor, his name is Neville Sender. He's killed children for the past 28 years. I've since had confrontations with him on the streets. Went and seen him. Very nasty man. All he did is yell at me because I wasn't on birth control, and how stupid could I be not to be on birth control? Made an appointment.